Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the GSTL. I am Doe, with me is Moltrap, and we are about to see an epic TVT between that man right there, Slayers MMA, and his opponent, FOU. This is, again, one of the most premier TVTs in StarCraft 2, and the winner is going to send their team to the GSTL Finals. Moltrap,
yeah, man.
I am losing my mind here.
It is all on the line for these two players right now.
Yeah.
Both players have to win the next map, Metalopolis. FOU deciding not to go with the new Belshire Beach, sorry.
I guess so.
Yeah, and you know, it's a smaller map than we've seen in the past, so TVTs, not to see some epic TVTs. Anyway, let's find out what happens.
All right, here he is, the last hope for Slayers. He is known as the son of Boxer. He is
Slayers MMA.
We'll see if he can live up to the reputation. He certainly played well last game, coming back from quite a deficit to win in an exciting fashion. And his opponent, the only thing standing in the way, is this FOU player, the best player on FOU. He is
Ro4.
Well,
FOU.
we all imagine that it might be Leonok, but it is actually FOU. And yeah, both of these guys under a ton of pressure right now. Their teams depending on them, their fans are depending on them. Ton of fans in the audience today.
I gotta say,
yeah,
MMA has a little bit of an edge here.
What's that?
He's got 3 letters in his name as opposed to only 2 for SC.
Out macroed on the name.
Out macroed on the name.
That's right.
Was able to produce more letters in his ID than SC was.
Yep.
Anyway, both players going for barracks first, no gas first shenaniganry.
Yeah, and they are cross positions on Metalopolis, so this is going to give the most time for each player to kind of develop their various strategies, whatever they do plan to do. Both players getting their gas at the same time as well. So for now, it's definitely a mirror match. Now, we did see Gumiho go for kind of a strange strategy last time, going for just tank Viking. Very, very popular earlier in the life of StarCraft 2, especially towards the end of the beta and the couple months after release. But people stopped doing it, and we saw why. Because MMA just basically said, okay, you're very immobile. I'm going to drop, get a lot of Marauders. I can take tank hits. I can do damage to tanks in a huge way, and that will win you a game.
That was scary, seeing about a score of tanks running around the middle of the map. That was
a ton of tanks.
But yeah, MMA just went around the sides and never had to do a full engagement head on and take them out.
Oh,
anyway,
getting denied for MMA. He's not going to see that tech lab. And both players going for a tech lab, so I'd imagine we'll probably see a Reaper. Second gas, though, for MMA. So we may see something like Banshee.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or MMA could also go Blue Flame Hellions as well.
Well, MMA is going to start off with the Reaper.
Yep.
And probably going to send that in to try and do some scouting. Force SC. Actually, SC is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And there's a factory going down for MMA and a command center for SC.
And I like what SC is doing right now. He's scouting around the map, looking for any sort of hidden tech. Does not want to be surprised by a surprise Banshee or anything like that. Because the only thing worse than, well, the last thing you want to hear after someone yells surprise is, I'm a cloaked Banshee and I'm in your base.
That's right, man. I hate when I hear that.
I know, I heard that once too. I was like, oh no.
One time,
forgot to get detection.
One time I came home from work on my birthday, and I walked in the door, and my housemates had organized a surprise, like, sort of get-together for me.
Oh, really?
I walked in the door, and they sang, "Happy birthday, we're a cloaked Banshee."
Oh, I hate that. And then you're like, what? And then they turn on the lights, and they're like, nope, surprise. I'm like, you guys.
Yep.
All right, the Reaper running right into the Marines.
Oh, wow.
And, wow, SC almost taking out the Reaper there.
Oh, and his own Reaper's going to try and cut him off with a pass, and he is going to succeed.
Look out.
Oh! That Reaper did need to fear the Reaper.
Yeah, I guess so. And MMA indeed is going for Blue Flame Hellions, too.
Wow, going to use the tricks of his previous opponent against him.
Yep. And will he be going for a drop? He's getting a command center right now, so he may decide to just push out with some Marines and Blue Flame Hellions. That can be quite strong as well. Not quite as strong in cross positions, but it's still legitimate. SC, though, just going for mass or a big amount of barracks after his expansion.
Yeah, lots of barracks going down.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what these Blue Flame
and
Hellions are able to do
for MMA.
For MMA. They could easily do a lot of damage. There's only Marines on the map right now.
They certainly could. I mean, if you remember the MVP versus TSL, I believe it was, in the last game, it came down to TSL Live losing all his SCVs early in the game to a couple of Blue Flame Hellions. And then that was the end of the day for them. The end of the tournament.
Yeah, that's actually how...
Oh, the Reaper looks like he's going to be taken out.
Isn't that how SC FOU won his last game?
Yeah, I believe it is.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because that's who beat TSL.
There you go.
That was 2 days ago, Moltrap. And wow, a Marine for SC getting into the base of MMA, sees everything.
People say that to me sometimes. They're like, how can you not remember that? I'm like, do you have any idea how many games of StarCraft I've watched in the last 3 days?
There's some, though, that you just can't forget. Like the last game we saw, that is a game that you're going to remember for a long time.
What happened to that again? I'm just
well,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Battle Cruisers, Mothership, New Crush.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Lurkers.
Look at these Hellions posturing, trying to get a good angle on those Marines. And SC trying to space them out so they can't get as much damage.
Yeah, if MMA can micro this well, he can kill a lot of Marines. But SC so far doing a really good job of splitting those up.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job, actually.
Leaving the injured one back. Oh, but he does lose one. Stimming the Marines. That caused some damage right there.
Oh, man. That did more damage than a Blue Flame shot.
Well, you know, it ended up about even between both players. I mean, MMA maybe coming up slightly ahead, only losing one Hellion, taking severe damage to the other two, but that can be repaired.
That's
SC
true.
losing a couple Marines. Both players expanding now. And so at this point, a little poke by MMA doesn't really do too much. Stim on the way for MMA, while SC decides to actually get combat shields early.
So SC definitely going for bio here.
Yeah, well,
as
sometimes
indicated by his floating factory and his reactor starport.
We've seen this more and more, too, as they've increased the length of stim research. We've seen things like this right here, where we see some early Marine drops or pushes with combat shields. The Marines are much more durable. They can kill, you know, that many extra SCVs or units. So, definitely legitimate, but it looks like there's going to be a Blue Flame Hellion drop in the base of SC. If he's not prepared for this, this could be the end of the game.
Yeah, man. Now, how bad would that be to win your last game to get to the semis by using a Blue Flame drop and then lose the last game?
He is not actually going to have a lot in his base to defend against this.
Oh my god, he's moved out. You're right.
Oh no, the Viking finds it!
Oh no! If he loses that medevac without getting him out, it's going to be horrible! Is he going to get back to land? 2 more shots left?
I don't think so.
No! One more shot left.
He hesitated, and here comes the drop for SC FOU. This could be huge. Looks like MMA is ready, though. He's got a good group of Marines, so this drop's not going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, but he doesn't have stim, though.
Oh, that's right.
So he's going to lose eventually, especially with the medevac there.
Yep, and combat shields for SC as well.
Oh, my goodness.
SC looking pretty good right now.
That was so bad.
Yeah, MMA
for MMA.
with that. Trying to catch that medevac, though. He may be able to. No, he's not going to be able to get it.
Oh, man.
SCV is like, I wish I had rockets. And a big push coming out right now from SC.
Oh,
combat shields and stim.
Right now, he has...
Oh, he does get the medevac. Very nice.
Oh, wow.
If
Did he fly it back in there? I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, he did. He kind of crossed the road a bit. If MMA can stim this early enough, SC looking for a possible third, scanning to see where the units are, and MMA is not ready for this.
He has siege mode. He needs
he does
to
see it.
up.
MMA sees it. A single Marine saw the army. SC pulling back right away.
Good for him.
Such a tense moment right now in this game.
Bad for SC. If SC had caught him out of place there with the superior upgrades, it would have been pretty bad, but he sieges up, and so now
MMA will have +1 slightly earlier. He's going to get combat shields very soon, too.
Yeah, so now with those siege tanks there, MMA can kind of posture around a little bit, go for drops, and not be vulnerable to a counterattack by those mass Marines as much.
MMA actually ahead in supply ever so slightly right now.
Yep, SC has siege tanks as well now.
Single Marine looking for a third base, but he's going to find his fellow angry anti-friend Marine.
Angry
As in-
anti-friend Marine.
That's right, is in a Marine from the other team. Run!
Marine from the other team instead of a brother from another mother.
It's like, guys, I just, Marine didn't get to tell what he saw to his friends.
Too bad.
But again, SC getting seen. And this time, the tables have turned. MMA ready for this one.
3 more shots, I think.
Yep.
Or, yes.
Medevac for a medevac.
Oh, 2 Marines get out alive
Yep.
of the 8.
That's right.
Not good at all. And MMA posturing down the bottom side of the map here. He does have a slight advantage, and he's going for a +1 weapons attack. He only has a brief like 30 seconds where he's going to have +1, and SC will not.
Yeah. Now, right now, the army for SC looking a little bit scarier than the army for MMA. I gotta say, if we look at the Marine count, we do see that they're about even.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just an optical illusion. Tank count is
they are almost
even as well.
Exactly even in every unit count, actually.
Yeah. MMA just lost his Reaper somewhere.
The Reaper just dropped off the unit station, so it must have died somewhere.
So here it is, a classic TBT standoff. Who's going to come out on top?
Oh, needs to be careful and not get hit by those tanks.
Yeah.
If one player takes a huge volley from the other's tanks, they will lose the advantage. It's so close in Marine count, the other player could win off that.
This is what makes TBT so hard when you get into these positions. Oh, MMA losing a couple Marines there. And MMA decides to pull back. Just doesn't feel right about the engagement. I agree with that decision. He was very close to the base of SC. FOU, it would have been easier for his opponent to reinforce. Big amount of Marines running across the map there. And MMA looks like he'll be ready for it.
Interesting.
You'll see it with the Zelnaga Tower, certainly.
SC shifting around to the top side of the map, but MMA is there with the Soul Force. He sieges up. Oh, only catches a single Marine.
Yep.
SC comm scanning to see what's going on there.
And again,
see what the force looks like, see what the composition is.
Tense. MMA is going to get his expansion up a little bit earlier, and he might be able to catch SC coming across the bottom, but SC could just as easily catch MMA.
Oh, he skims in while he's on siege, but there's more Marines for SC, but they're stuck in the back, and he gets a good set of volleys off and falls back to his own tanks without taking too much damage.
So again, things coming out pretty even. MMA still ever so slightly ahead, but here comes a drop for MMA. This is how he got ahead in the last game. If he can do it again, it'll be pretty amazing. There's a lot of Marines there. They look ready. Oh, but SC moves the Marines out of position at the last moment.
And he's going to be able to get this drop off and do some damage to the SCV count. Killing a few SCVs. He's going to drop some in the main as well.
And SC not really reacting until right now. MMA taking that little edge down the bottom of the map. Dropping on the tanks, so they fire at each other. And here comes MMA. The Marines were out of position. MMA is going to roll through this army so fast.
Oh, goodness.
I can't believe it, Moletrap.
SC's Marines were back a little bit, and he took that moment of distraction to charge in there and kill so many tanks. He was able to take the advantage.
I've got the biggest nerd chills right now.
Oh my gosh, he's going to drop into the main. He's going to ferry his forces up. He's going to have siege tanks within range.
Careful though, SC coming from behind could take out some of the tanks.
Oh, he's going to lose a few tanks.
MMA has tanks on the high ground though too.
Viking doing a lot of delp.
Oh, I don't know.
The top. Oh no, his tanks are too close to the edge, and the Marines on the low ground able to take them out.
And now both players again even in supply. MMA ahead on the worker count though, 59 to 49.
He's ahead on the worker count, but
I can't believe this.
SC does have another base up at the top, so he's going to actually be able to make more use of his workers.
MMA and SC, are they even? I think they're still even on bases. They are.
They are
indeed.
Oh, never mind. My chocolate milk container was in the way of the mini-map. I didn't see the third base of
at
MMA.
a crucial time. So,
damn you, chocolate milk.
MMA might be found. He can drop the Marines off in time, though. He can take out that Viking. He does. And that medevac very low on health right now.
But look at this.
What?
The medevac coming in to try and drop Marines to kill the other medevac.
Uh-oh.
They pass, though, without seeing each other, and MMA's medevac is going to skirt around the left side.
All right. So MMA moving in with another drop. SC moving in with the drop, and MMA's third as well. You never know really how much damage these drops are going to do. I could say in the middle of the map, though.
In the middle of the map, a little bit of a standoff happening.
Again. And SC dropping into MMA's third. There's nothing to defend here. MMA having to pull back his SCVs. Too many acronyms for me to handle. And here comes MMA in the main base of SC, taking down the remainder. He's going to be able to snipe off that tank, possibly.
All right, so drop gets cleaned up there, down at the south.
Yeah.
He pulled some Marines back though, so the stand. Well, actually, yeah, both players pulling stuff back from that
And again,
sort of standoff
MMA.
in the middle.
MMA still slightly ahead in the supply count. Everything that SC's done, MMA has been a little bit better. MMA getting +3 infantry attack right now, +2 shields,
Whoa.
while SC is getting +2 attack and +1 attack, I believe, for vehicles. So,
Wow, actually, SC is really not doing that well in his macro right now. He's got 1,200 gas in the bank. He's got 3 mules queued up in his orbitals that he could easily use. Actually, 5 mules.
oh no!
And oh no, he's caught out of siege. Oh, he goes in a little bit too far, but runs back out. Saved most of his Marines. Well,
Yeah.
this is actually not a good idea. There's
That
too many Marines there.
That's
Medevac.
not good for SC.
Okay.
MMA gaining some vision there. MMA moving ahead. This
What
is
do you
one of those times where you want to move ahead.
What he should actually do is drop single Marines out to take the tank fire, but he's actually trying for a drop in the back now. There's a couple Marines there, but yeah, he's going to be okay.
MMA moving ahead at the bottom of the map, though. This is the moment of truth.
Now, the reason he was out of position there is he just loaded up a huge drop with 4 medevacs of Marines going around the south, but this drop is doing a ton of damage because his army's out of position.
Wow, so MMA taking little tiny chunks out of his opponent every step of the way.
Oh, and SC with
on the
4
back foot
medevacs.
now.
He actually has a medevac that's been sitting there for a long time. Not doing anything.
MMA
Charging in.
needs to siege
He
up.
steps in. He sieges.
And I think MMA is going to be able to hold this off. We'll have to find out. He needs to keep those SCVs alive. MMA holding it off at the same time, up with the third base for SC.
Absolute slaughter by MMA of SC's forces at the bottom. Now he's going to take out the base at the top. SC at 118 supply, MMA at 176. He's got a 50 supply lead over him, and weapons upgrade advantage. And SC still has a medevac full of troops at the bottom that he's not even making use of.
Hello, medevac. They're just like, we're going to sit this one out.
Oh my
this
gosh.
game isn't important to this medevac. Oh no, and he might get the medevac as well. SC needs to be so careful right now. He's going to lose the medevac.
And
Does.
medevac goes down.
All right.
Wow.
SC needs to play so carefully if he wants to stay in this game right now. He's lost his third. It's going to be almost impossible to come back.
Yeah, I think MMA is going in for the kill here.
Yeah,
It's going to be
MMA.
very difficult for SC to hold this.
Is MMA too far ahead?
He has almost equal Marines, but he's got half the tanks and way less medevacs.
Yep. MMA looks like he has an unstoppable force at this point.
And SC is unsieged right now. He needs to be sieged up.
MMA's Marines doing a great job buffering, pulling back. MMA needs to be careful here. He really does.
Oh, and he knows he has more, so he's going to drop in the main, pull those
He
troops
knows
back,
it.
and then attack the front with the rest of his
Oh,
Marines.
but pulling back. Is he going to stim ahead with his other Marines? No.
Oh, no, he didn't take that opportunity. And he is going to
It's
siege
so
up on the low ground
positional.
again. Take 2 on this attack, but this time SC does not have the forces to overwhelm the bottom and the top at the same time.
And MMA is going to move ahead at the bottom of the map with his tanks as well, I'm sure. Maybe not. We'll see. More reinforcements coming in from MMA. SC, though. Oh, look at that. MMA taking down some of the production buildings, taking a breather.
He's just got too much stuff.
Yeah.
He's
really
got
does.
enough of an army to hold the front and do this harassment at the same time, taking out
Wow.
depots,
Just-
engaging the Marines
Just
as
like
well.
that. We see SC's hopes of getting to the finals slipping away right now.
FOU so badly wanted to prove themselves, prove that they were not an inferior team by getting to the finals, and Slayers, who predicted that they would crush FOU, are not going to be having a crushing victory, but they are very likely going to be going to the finals.
Yeah.
170, he's got more than double the supply. MMA just picking things off
Goodbye,
as he wants.
SCVs. Long distance mining not working out. The meat grinder has arrived.
And the Slayers bench is going wild. They know that victory is within their grasp.
They are going
They are
to the
cheering.
finals.
Stella's giving me a thumbs up right now as they see that victory and the finals
That
are
is it.
very imminent.
FOU, they've really tried hard. SC still trying to cling to victory right now. Trying to get any shred, any scrap he second grab to get back in this game, but I don't think it's going to happen.
SC
FOU
has
had such a good run. They played so well, but in the end, GG.
And there's the GG. The Slayers bench jumps to their feet, excited as ever. MMA pulling out the 2-0 at the end to bring them from the brink of defeat to the finals of the GSTL. And that was the most epic two-game comeback.
I can't believe it. That was exciting as the finals right there.
That was amazing. That was
FOU
absolutely amazing.
Played magnificently. You know, FOU may not have come with the win. That's weird. But FOU may. Right. So FOU, they may not have gotten the win, but man, they sure proved something.
They definitely proved something today.
SC feels crushed. He's devastated, but I think they can walk out of here with their heads held high. Really do.
And
I think FOU really proved that they are not the team that everyone was laughing at before this. They are a team that can compete. They came within millimeters, within inches, which is a little bit more than millimeters, but still a small amount of getting to the finals.
Within half millimeters.
Within a nanometer.
They came very close.
You gotta feel bad.
And you know, he's gonna be kicking himself so hard because he had that game. He didn't have the game, but he had an advantage, and his macro slipped up. His macro left him. He had tons of gas in the bank. He had tons of fuels, which would have meant minerals, which meant he had another 6-8 tanks at least.
You know, at the end of the day, I think we clearly did see that the better player won.
Yes.
I don't mean to rag
MMA
on
just
SC
played
at
better.
all, but yeah, SC was just outplayed. It's true.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And man, we are only halfway done.
We're only halfway done.
We've got OGS versus MVP coming up, but wow, that was an amazing, amazing match. Slayers, I mean, they had a lot of confidence coming in there. I think they learned a little bit that despite the confidence, you have to back it up with solid play as well. They were very close to being knocked out of the team league. Man, it's hard to put into words just how good of a match that was, and
that
I mean
was awesome.
Yeah,
all the way to the ace match, all the way to the final 7th game of the best of 7.
Yeah.
And two very, very top-level players duking it out in that last game,
and that's
for the win.
Such a great thing about the GSL Team League is that all the teams, and I mean all the teams, are so even. I mean, any team can beat any team in the GSL Team League. We just saw FOU almost take down Slayers.
Yeah.
So believe it.
After they took out TSL.
Yeah, they did take out TSL. And I've got a feeling we might be seeing a bit of a resurgence from FOU. But, wow, you got to hand it to Slayers. MMA really coming through for his team.
Really coming through. Still
absolutely
the champion of the team league.
Yeah.
Champion of the team league. Always performing well in the team leagues. Performing in clutch situations against no matter who he send out against.
Yeah.
You know, MVP, top Terran ever. I'm going to beat him in the team league for the win.
MMA's taken down so many
taken
good
down
Terrans.
SC now.
Yeah.
Semi-finalist in the GSL.
He's going to be in Code A again next season. I'd say it's a very good chance that he could get up to Code S. We'll have to see how he plays. But getting the big win for the Slayers team today, getting 2 wins in a row against 2 very beastly Terran players.
Yeah.
Yeah, proving that Slayers definitely does deserve to be in the finals.
Yeah, and let's not forget, you know, we saw a lot of other really good games and some cool matches.
Absolutely.
We saw really
Lenok's
awesome play from Lenok.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, that was we saw why, you know, he was in the GLC in the first place. Let's go ahead and get an interview with the MVP and the coach.
안녕하세요.
MMA, of course, is the MVP for today's matches.
경기 소감 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
How do you feel?
4대3까지 몰릴 줄은 생각도 못했거든요.
네.
앞에 준식이 형이 다 제거해 줄 줄
He said,
알았는데
I'm very happy I didn't predict the score before 3.
좀 많이 마음이 쫑겼어요.
He figured Alicia would finish him off.
아, 재밌네요. 자,
But he's happy that
GSTL에서
he was
특별히
able to
좀
come out with a
강하신
victory.
이유, 물론 뭐 GSL에서 강한 면모를 보여주시긴 하시지만 특별히 더 강하신 것 같거든요. 그 이유를 뭐라고 생각하십니까?
일단
Why are
팀원들끼리
you
다
stronger in the team
화합해서
league? Very good
한마음 한뜻이 되는 게 제일 큰 힘이 되는 것 같고요. 그리고 연습하는데 항상 송 감독님께서 다 짜주시거든요. 그래서 무리 없이 이길 수 있었던 것 같아요.
네, 오늘 사실
he
경기가 좀
gets
쉽지 않았어요.
energy from his
6세트에 나왔는데 매치 포인트로 팀이 좀 몰려있던
And
상황이었거든요.
they practice all
자신
together.
있으셨습니까?
일단
So his
마지막에
teammates are able to help him a lot, and he gets said before he got energy from his teammates.
골라주길래
spurs him on.
문석빛이 자신 있어 해서 같이 재밌는 게임이 나온 것 같아요.
네. 자, 문성원 선수 개인적으로 궁금한 게 있는데 손좀 혹시 보여주실 수 있나요?
네.
네. 자, 손이 두 개가 맞군요. 저희가 왜 이런 얘기를 하냐면 저희 중계진들이 손이 8개다 이런 얘기를 했어요. 정말 멀티태스킹 능력이 뛰어나신데 특별히 멀티태스킹 능력을 키우기 위한 어떤 연습이나 자신만의
He's
훈련
very good
방법이
at
있나요?
multitasking, so
아니요, 일단
they say
게임 할 때
it's like he has more than two hands.
긴장을 항상 늦추지 않고요. 그리고 그게 비결인 것 같아요. 긴장을
Talking
항상
about his hands being
안
very
늦추고
fast in
게임을
general,
네,
something along those lines.
긴장만 늦추지 않으면은 저도 그렇게 될 수 있을지 좀 궁금한데요.
He tries not to be
자,
nervous,
마지막으로
and
팬들에게
that's
특히
why he's
여성
good at
팬들이 굉장히 많으세요.
multitasking.
여성 팬들에게 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
응원해주시는 팬분들께 너무 감사드리고요. 그리고 제가 6월 2일 날 미국에
He said,
MLG
thanks to all
콜럼버스를
the
나가는데
fans that
거기서도
support
좋은
the team
성적 거둘 수
Slayers,
있도록 한국의 위상을
and
높이고
he's going to the United
자, 오늘
States
인터뷰
next
고맙습니다.
month for the
네,
MLG.
이어서 홍승표 플레잉 감독
So look forward
만나보겠습니다.
to his
좀
games
소감 한 말씀
there.
부탁드릴게요.
Now we're going to have some words with Sela, the
결승
Slayers
가기가 이렇게
coach.
힘든 건지 다시 한번 느끼게 되었고요. 역시 아직 스타2는 최강의 팀도 최약의
He
팀도
says
없는
it's
것
a very
같습니다.
hard thing to
네.
do to get
자,
to the finals of
감독님이
the
저번
GSTL.
시즌에도 이제 드라마를 써 내려가겠다. 이제는 그 드라마가 각본 없는 드라마가 아니라 정말 각본대로 가고 있는 그런 드라마라는 느낌이 들거든요. 하지만 오늘 좀 쉽진 않았어요. 솔직히 질 수도 있을 거라는 생각 하지 않으셨습니까?
네, 처음 예상했던 윤영서 선수가 이렇게 약간 무기력하게 질 거라고는
And
생각을 전혀
the first
못했거든요.
player,
그래서 약간
He didn't expect
가져왔던
him to lose
수를
the
약간
first match.
변형시켜서 양준식 선수까지 왔는데 역시
And so
주장이
things were harder
큰
than
몫을
expected.
해내서 이렇게 다시 한번 결승까지 가게 되지 않았나 생각합니다.
네. 자, 어제는
But the
4대
team
오늘은 4대
captain,
3이었습니다. 말 그대로
Slayers
천국과 지옥을
MMA
왔다
did his
갔다
job
하셨는데
and finished off.
내일 있을 결승전 예상 스코어를 좀 예상해 보신다면요?
솔직히 말씀드리면 자신이 없습니다. 여기까지 온 거 자체가 정말 너무 힘들었고요. 그래도
He's not as
OGS나
confident in
MVP
the finals, he
자체
says.
두팀 모두 선수들이 출중한 선수들밖에 없어서 결과는 예측할 수 없지만 그래도 승리를 위해서 한번 결승
MVP and
무대
OGS have
재밌게
lots
만들어
of
보도록
good
하겠습니다.
players,
네. 자, 마지막으로 팬들에게 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
but they will try their best
저희
to
슬레이어스
show
팀을
entertaining
많이
games for the fans.
해주시는 분들 앞으로도 더 멋진 모습 보여드릴 테니까 기대해 주시고요. 내일 결승전 정말
Look
실망시켜드리지
forward to our
않겠습니다.
네.
games.
자, 지금까지
And the
홍승표
finals
감독과
tomorrow.
문성원 선수 만나봤습니다. 박수 한번 또 부탁드릴게요. 자, 내일도 멋진
And I
경기
believe that's going to
부탁드리겠습니다.
wrap up
소개성
the
나와주시죠.
interview
Yeah,
with
so,
Slayers.
so there you have
And
it.
remember, do not go away.
Yeah.
In fact, do the opposite of that and stay here.
Well, they can
because
go away for a little bit because I think we're probably
we're
going
going
to
to go to a break in just a
pretty
moment
soon.
here. But
So-
remember, we still have a very exciting match coming up here. MVP
Yep.
versus OGS. MVP surprising me at least by performing very, very well
Well,
against
got a lot of talent.
a lot of talented players, a lot of up-and-coming players on MVP.
Yeah.
Going up against some more established players on the OGS team. It's going to be a very interesting match to see what happens
The
there.
old generation versus the new generation, actually.
In a way, yeah.
It's gonna
Very
be
interesting.
Pretty neat.
Um,
and I'm excited to see players like Keen and Violet.
And if those games are
Dong
anything close to the games we've seen so far today, then the second semifinal, good catch, is
Thanks.
going to be just absolutely ridiculous as well. The MVP team is in the house. Let's go ahead and check out again the wins and losses for the day. We started off with Lenok getting a strong win over Tasia,
That was a great
taking
game.
out their all-killer, and then Gonzi came back and got a couple kills back. Gumiho, the star of Monday, returning the kills, and MMA finishing it out with a couple wrestling moves to take out SC. And we're going to go
We'll be
for a
back in
10-minute
10.
break. Come back in 10 minutes for OGS versus MVP.
So jet